What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. So please subscribe here and please follow me on Instagram at RussoLifts. In case something happens to this channel, you can follow, message me, interact with me directly, and there's daily content on there. Hope to see you guys on Instagram. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. So I wanted to have a discussion with Tony about growth hormone. I've been reading on the forums and I've seen a couple videos, and there's just a lot of misinformation about the safety of growth hormone and how growth hormone side effects accumulate. You might not notice the side effects right off the bat, but there are some serious side effects such as beta cells dying if you're not careful with growth hormone. And there's a lot of people out there saying that you never have to come off, you can be on growth hormone forever. That's going to cause a lot of weird growth with bones, such as your jaw, and the possibility of being permanently diabetic from beta cells dying. So I just wanted Tony to break it down and discuss why you should, use growth hormone in bursts.
I prefer doing growth hormone in bursts. I feel like it's safer, but there's also a lot of people in the anti-aging longevity community that are using very low dosage. So it really depends whether
bodybuilder dosage versus
low versus high dosage. Sure. Famous actors and actresses that I know personally are taking 2 units of pharmaceutical HGH per day for anti-aging and fat loss, and they can do that forever. It's got a short enough half-life that if they're taking it once per day, there's enough of a break from it during the day. Where we have most of the problems with growth hormone is the same as every drug. So if you understand this fundamental physics of how human biochemistry works, it can help you more intelligently use any drug, not just growth hormone. So that's why I'm going to speak to the core of it, which is that if you expose yourself to a drug chronically and you don't give your body a break, that is the least natural thing you can do. That is, I'm not saying being natural is good, but our body is meant to go like a pendulum swing, right? Growth hormone is high, insulin is low. Insulin is low, growth hormone is high, and you switch back and forth, and that's
so go healthy. Into that pendulum. Why do you need to balance insulin with growth hormone? A lot of people don't even understand that fundamental of why is the insulin included with growth hormone? Do I need insulin if I'm using growth hormone? Can I use insulin without growth hormone? Just go into the balancing effect.
It would be oversimplifying to say that growth hormone is a releasing peptide, a releasing hormone that causes the release of fat, and insulin is a storage hormone. That's because they both have some kind of crossover in their function. But for the most part, that's how it is. So to understand for illustration purposes, insulin is what causes your body to store, pull things in from your bloodstream into your muscle and other places. And growth hormone is like release. It's like a fat releasing hormone. But growth hormone also breaks down into other peptides. Dr. John Jaquish, the editor of the medical journal on steroids and hormonal sciences, says that there's 400 different peptides that we still don't even understand. We don't even know what they do in the body. And growth hormone is the parent peptide that breaks down into all these other peptides. So by taking growth hormone, we're also basically taking a little bit of IGF, a little bit of MGF, and a little bit of TB500, all these different peptides that heal, recover, rebuild our body. But in nature, we're supposed to go eating for a period of time and then storing all that up and then go over to growth hormone, which is using that or breaking down and sort of rebuilding. It's kind of a weird thing because growth hormone rebuilds, or it prepares the body for rebuilding is a better way to say it. Okay. So growth hormone's preparing your body for then when you take the insulin and you get all the nutrients to actually rebuild everything.
Gotcha.
And in bodybuilding, when we're taking growth hormone chronically all the time, we're flipping that switch over here, and then all of a sudden we're ignoring the insulin and we're becoming diabetic is the most extreme example. I mean, that's not common, but what I see happen in pro bodybuilders' blood work that I review is that the insulin sensitivity decreases. They start putting on more fat instead of muscle. Their muscles don't act like sponges. They're not able to fill out as much. And their hemoglobin A1C, which is a test of the recent history of how high their blood sugar levels is high. And blood sugar is super toxic. We're talking all the toxicity of things in supplements or whatever is irrelevant compared to the toxicity of blood sugar. And so we want to keep our blood sugar down, but when you're taking growth hormone, you're putting your body in that mode, it's release mode. It's not you're not getting the blood sugar out of your bloodstream. You're desensitizing yourself to insulin. Your body's trying to combat that. And doing that, you're stressing the beta cells on the pancreas.
And you only have so many beta cells, right?
Yeah, they don't regenerate. So once they're shot, like I probably damaged my beta cells by overeating as an ectomorph, just pounding tons of carbs for so many years instead of addressing the foundation of the hormones involved in muscle growth. And I think in America, most people have some level of insulin sensitivity because of the way our diet is. And then you add growth hormone on top of that, like a bodybuilder who's taking in way more carbohydrates than their body's meant to handle, and you're on the growth hormone, the blood sugar levels creep up, the insulin sensitivity creeps down, and all of a sudden it becomes harder to put on muscle. And in those cases, we add insulin back in. We actually inject insulin, and that offsets the problem.
Right.
But it's you have to deal with both sides of the equation. You need to add the insulin in so they can absorb nutrients again. But now we have to get the insulin sensitivity back even more. The reason why growth hormone is damaging our insulin sensitivity so much, or any side effects are coming from growth hormone, and this goes to the foundation, the fundamental physics behind how drugs work in the body, is we're not giving ourselves a break.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with caffeine. If you're pounding caffeine all day, you're going to develop a tolerance really fast, and you're going to get a ton of side effects. But if you just have coffee in the morning, and the way that the half-life is like 5.5 hours, by the time you go to sleep, the levels are so low, you're able to start resensitizing to it before the next morning. And growth hormone's the same way. Like you're chronically taking growth hormone, you're chronically elevating not just the blood sugar, but every side effect that comes along with it is accumulating. And you're not getting that much benefit from being on growth hormone all the time. That's why I wouldn't take like 2 units 3 times a day forever, because then you're just going to end up with a bunch of side effects. I'd rather do a higher dosage once per day, or you can do it 3 times a day, but then take a few days off and let your body resensitize. And that goes with any drug.
All right, so that is why you should definitely not listen to people saying to continue running growth hormone. That is just your steroid dealer just trying to sell you as much juice as possible.